But Victor wasn't done. As the GBC member bolted through the crowd, Victor pursued him relentlessly, gun in hand, and Victor squeezed the trigger again and again, emptying his clip as he chased his rival through the chaos.
Ain't no way
Victor
he's 10 years old.
unfazed.
They had the older looking up. He supplied the gun, so he you know how they be like slide or provide. This was sliding and providing. Hey, what it do, Mom Mafia? It's your boy. Hey, Mom. Look, y'all. Make sure you like this video before we even get it started. But look, in today's video, we got the kid who terrorized OKC. Now, it's only 3 things I know about Oklahoma. The Oklahoma Sooners, Oklahoma City Thunder, and First 48, because Tulsa, Oklahoma always got some shit going on in there. But without further ado, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let's get right into this video. I don't know shit about Tulsa, Oklahoma, but them 3 things.
LA was a kid who grew up fast. By the age of 9, he was already running with the Southside Locos, the biggest and most dangerous Hispanic gang in Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma got hood? I mean,
as a branch.
Oh, my fault, y'all. I ain't even mean to pause it that quick. Oklahoma got, gangs? Like, I don't know nothing about Oklahoma. I ain't know they had gangs, but they really got gangs?
The California Sureños gang and quickly grew to rule the south side of OKC. Their biggest rivals, Grande Barrio Central 23, had been around since
you don't fuck with Mexicans, bro.
Has been ongoing for over 2 decades with no signs of slowing down. And by the time Victor was 10, he had already learned how to break into cars, rob people, and even fire a gun.
That's normal young nigga shit.
He wasn't just a kid anymore. He was turning into a menace. Victor would even go out of his way just to find his rivals from GB Central. And it was rumored that he had shot at multiple members of their gang. If you saw Victor on the streets, you knew trouble was around. Victor always carried a gun and wasn't scared to use it, no matter who.
He carrying a gun at 10 years old, shooting ops, chasing ops down at 10 years old. Now that's not normal. Well, breaking in cars, I can see I know some young niggas that be breaking in cars, but they be like 13, 14. But at 10, this nigga ain't never jumped off the porch. This nigga is the porch.
No matter who was around.
And I mean, a lot of people knew who he was, you know what I mean? And he had a lot of guns, and he was always putting in work on Centrals. He just did not like them.
But Victor's reputation wasn't built by chance. He learned everything from J-Rock, an older gang member who had moved to Oklahoma City from Los Angeles. J-Rock taught Victor and the other Southside Locos how to gangbang and politic correctly.
That's mainly what they want to do, is they want to take out all the GBCs, and GBCs want to take out all the
Southside. So what's the GBCs?
We'd probably kill them all if we could.
And Victor picked up the lessons fast. It was rumored that he stole guns all over the south side, supplying them to other locos to use on the Barrio Centrals. Even the older members of the gang trusted Victor when it came to firepower. By the time he was 15, Victor's name was known across the city, but not in a good way. Gang intervention specialist described Victor as someone who didn't care if he lived or died as long as it was for the locos.
Damn.
Victor was dangerous and he'd do anything for the gang. Victor had a short temper and no fear. If he caught rivals marking up loco territory with graffiti, he'd chase them down himself, no matter how outnumbered he was. But Victor's recklessness.
So Victor about 5, let's say he 10, you like 4'3", 4'4" at the like. This little nigga was terrorizing the streets of OKC. This nigga, they had the older niggas looking up. He supplied the gun, so he you know how they be like slide or provide. This nigga was sliding and providing at 10 years old. How the hell? Man, he ran his block.
Eventually caught up with him. On May 27th, 2006, his temper and dangerous ways finally led to consequences he couldn't outrun. Victor, Sleepy, and a few other Southside Locos got in a car and started heading over to the Crossroads Mall, but he wasn't there to shop. Victor was hunting for rival gang members, and the mall, a popular GBC hangout, was the perfect spot to find them. It didn't take long before they spotted a GBC member. Victor would start yelling derogatory terms at the GBC member, shouting, "Fuck cornbreads and CK all day," before reaching from under his shirt and pulling out a handgun. Victor fired multiple shots at the GBC member. The gunfire echoing through the mall caused shoppers to panic, scrambling for cover behind trash cans, clothing racks, and anything they could find to shield themselves from the chaos. But Victor wasn't done. As the GBC member bolted through the crowd, Victor pursued him relentlessly, gun in hand, and Victor squeezed the trigger again and again, emptying his clip as he chased his rival through the chaos.
Ain't no way he's 10 years old.
Victor was completely unfazed by the terrified screams around him, but his shots hit their target, wounding the GBC member as he tried to get away. But Victor didn't see what was coming next. 3 police officers on the floor above had heard the gunfire and were already rushing down to stop him. As the officers closed in, they would tell Victor to drop his weapon, but Victor didn't listen.
And I seen Victor all the way across the hall, you know what I'm saying, with a big old hole in his head. And my homeboy just holding it in his arms, you know what I'm saying? And he just died.
Victor's homeboy Sleepy was his right-hand man, but when Victor died, Sleepy had started to reflect on all the life decisions he had made. Killing the Centrals started to feel pointless. The endless cycle of violence began to weigh on Sleepy. Eventually, Sleepy made a choice. He left the streets behind and decided to change his life. He enrolled in college, hoping education could give him the chance to break free from the life he'd known.
Now, why the hell you couldn't help Victor do this shit? Sleepy? You had to watch your man get his brains blown out for you to change your life. That sound about right. I can't even lie to you.
Sleepy's goal was simple: to make something of himself and to find a purpose in life outside of gangbanging. Sleepy would go on to join the Oklahoma Police Department, hoping for a better change. But the Southside Locos didn't.
The fuck? Are we fucking serious? You went from gangbanging to being the cops, nigga? Get the fuck out of here.
Like this at all. They saw Sleepy as a rat and a disgrace to Victor's legacy. Some gang members, like Sleepy, turned their lives around, but others still stayed in the game. They tried to get jobs in the OKC jails to sneak in weapons and drugs. If successful, this could help gang members attack rivals and smuggle in weapons and drugs. However, law enforcement and officials worked hard to stop it. They would even fire people over their past gang affiliations to keep things under control.
Yeah, Jolene, well, this all comes at a time when the jail is already having a hard time recruiting new jail officers, and Oklahoma County jail leaders say now they've got another challenge to deal with: gang members applying to be jail officers to help commit
niggas
crimes
will do
inside the
anything.
jail.
Niggas will do.
Three applicants
Niggas will go so hard they hurt the ops but won't take care of their kids, bro.
Partnerships with outside law enforcement agencies. She also told me since forming those partnerships last year, the jail has fired multiple detention officers who'd worked there from a few months to several years because law enforcement uncovered they had gang connections.
Damn.
But even with rats like Sleepy in the Oklahoma Police Department, they couldn't slow down the Southside Locos. They kept applying more pressure on the Centrals, sending younger members to handle the dirty work, with one young teen even running up to a GBC and shooting him in broad daylight.
Damn.
But as the Southside Locos grew, the Warritos started beefing with them. The tension between the two gangs kept building until things exploded in June 2012 at the Oklahoma County Jail. Donald, a member of the Southside Locos, got caught up in a fight with the Warritos. Christopher, a member of the Warrito Street Gang, was in jail for a racketeering case tied to the Warrito Gang's illegal activities. Christopher and some other Warrito Gang members attacked Donald. It was later revealed that Donald had been a witness in the case against them, and the Warritos didn't want him talking. In April 2012, police arrested 13 people from the Warrito Gang for racketeering charges, but with Donald still a witness, they had to get rid of him. The Warritos would corner Donald and begin to push on him, knocking him to the ground, and started jumping him, kicking Donald in the face, stomach, and his ribs, causing him serious injuries. The whole thing was caught on camera, but the jail treated it like a minor situation. A couple of days later, things got even more intense. Word spread about the beating, and the Southside Locos were furious. One of the Warrito gang members, Limpy, was locked up in the Lawton Correctional Facility.
Now, does this look like a nigga you want to play with? Like, look at this nigga, bro. He has no regard for life. He don't even got a fucking shape up. Let alone he don't got a beard or a shape up. Do you want to play with this nigga right here, bro? I promise you, stay away from a nigga named Limpy.
Limpy was already serving life for the 2005 murder
I
of the
told you.
Southside Loco.
Didn't I tell you?
With the Southside Locos planning their revenge from behind bars. They hit up Limpy, attacking him twice in the face, twice in the wrist, and once in the chest. Limpy was rushed to the hospital, but he didn't survive. Limpy's death led to a huge investigation
rest in peace
and
to
caused
Limpy.
bloodshed on both sides. But the police are still looking into the war between the two gangs and what went on in the jail. But while on the street, the Southside Locos gang was secretly running a huge drug business from behind bars. They were using cell phones that were smuggled into prisons to talk to people outside and plan their dealings. They would have connections in Mexico and would order shipments to Oklahoma City. And with this drug money, they would buy more weapons and more drugs to fund hits on rival gang members.
Wiretaps confirmed prisoners coordinated drug shipments from Mexico while behind prison walls. Law enforcement also seized 200 pounds of drugs, 69 guns, and $300,000.
Hey, recipes to everybody that lost their life in this video.
35-year-old Eduardo Rosales was sentenced in December and is considered a kingpin of the Southside Locos.
Through their drug operations, the Southside Locos would build a strong bond with black gangs in OKC. This is because most of the Mexican gangs are on the South Side, so they would team up with the Southside black gangs to move drugs all over Oklahoma City. Over the past decade, Mexican gangs have started letting a few black members join their ranks, including Barrio Central 23. Back in the early days of the Southside Locos, black members weren't allowed at all. I was even told by a member that things were so strict with the politics that Mexicans weren't allowed to wear gold chains because it was seen as a black thing. But now, with money as the main focus and racial divisions no longer holding weight in Oklahoma, gangs are made up of all races. Thanks for watching another episode.
So you telling me right now all this shit was going on in OKC, but you had KD, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook cooking, and this was what was going on in the backyard? Oh my gosh, Oklahoma City, I ain't even know y'all got it down like this, bro. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you want me to react to next. We're on the road to 50K.